I think we're good to start when you are.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thanks for joining by Zoom on this terrible day, weather-wise. I would like to call the meeting to order. Justin, do you have the land acknowledgement for us, please?
Yes. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Haudenosaunee, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. City of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship on the land in which we live.
Okay, thank you so much for doing that, Justin. Adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Anise
Is there
and
any,
Joey.
before that, is there any declarations of interest as well?
Oh, sorry, is there any declarations of interest?
No.
Okay, then adoption of the agenda, I had Anise and Joey. Are there any changes to the agenda for discussion? Okay, none. Okay, can I have all in favor of adoption of the agenda? Okay, it looks like that's carried. Okay, adoption of the minutes of January 10th, 2025. A mover and a seconder, please. How about Michael and Leslie? Okay, any questions, changes to those minutes? Anybody? Okay, seeing none. I'll call the question. All in favor of the minutes? Okay, great. Okay, so we have correspondence from the Age Friendly Council. I already sent this to most of you, saying that the Age Friendly Niagara Council was accepting recruitment for its volunteer board. So I think most of you have seen this already. And if any discussion on that, Michael?
Yeah, the day you sent me the email, I responded. I went online and applied, but I haven't heard a single word back. So
Okay.
that was quite some time ago. Anyways.
Okay. I believe they will be contacting everybody. I'm not part of the process, so. Okay, and committee recruitment, Justin, do you want to just, is there anything more to say than what you've got? The city is recruiting for vacant committee, council, and board positions until March 3rd, 2025. The Age Committee, the Age Friendly Committee has 2 at-large vacancies to fill. So hopefully anybody who's listening to this or watching this, if you're interested, we have a good committee and we're looking for some new energy. So I hope people will consider filling those 2 positions. Justin, anything else to add?
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's nothing to add to that.
It's the process is on the city website, right? To apply.
Yeah, it's available through the city website, and paper forms are available here at City Hall as well.
Okay. Oh, I apologize, Councillor O'Hare.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just an idea, should we possibly put a poster up at the senior center as well? Advertising the need or the inviting people to come and apply?
And maybe, Justin, could we get a couple of paper copy? Can you send a PDF or a doc, a Word document to Brenda so we can print off a few of those paper applications in case there are interest? I think a lot of the seniors find it easier to do paper. Is that possible, Justin?
Yes, we can send that in.
Okay, Brenda, is that okay? He'll send you, maybe you can make a few copies and we'll just put.
Absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Leslie?
When you're deciding what to send it as, keep in mind we can put it on Facebook if it's a document, a Word document. If it's a PDF, we won't be able to. So if you want better advertising, please send both.
Okay. Maybe you can send us all the Word document because I think some people, committee members, have active Facebook pages. Don't some members, Michael?
Yeah, I was going to say too. Yeah, I have Facebook. I could do that if need be. But there's about 4 or 5 Thorold community groups on Facebook. And I mean, there's everything on there. There's everything from recruiting baseball kids and business activity and stuff. So that would be a place it could go. You'll get pretty well touch all of Thorold, because like I said, there's 4 or 5 of them. So.
And I know Natalie is also preparing a newsletter, and I'm sure that's going to be in her next newsletter. Natalie from City Hall. Okay, so those are some good suggestions. So if Justin, preferably if you could send it in Word format, it would be preferred, and then we can maybe figure out how to get it on these other Facebook pages too.
And just to add through the chair, it is being promoted on our City of Thorold social media with a link to the website where the application can be filled out on our website as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. That was a good discussion. Okay, CD Saturday, we did get an invoice from the senior center for $100, like we had discussed at our last meeting, to help with the CD Saturday event. And I think the money went to purchase seeds and also to help with some of the things that they needed for the kids' activities. I will let Brenda talk about this, but when I was there, it wasn't attended as well as last year for a number of reasons, but it was well attended, and there were a lot of children. That was really nice to see. So kudos to both Leslie and Brenda for putting this on. There was a lot of work put into it. There were a lot of things at the CD Saturday to view and to do. And I'll let, how about Leslie and then Brenda to speak on it. Kudos to both of you too.
Okay, there were a number of CD Saturdays. The Master Gardeners, St. Catherine's helped with ours. All of them were not as well attended as last year. A lot of it had to do with the weather, but we did remarkably well. One thing that I found was we did a number of different flyers. So we were sending out a different flyer each week leading up to it. And Kieran, my son, who is a soccer coach, a hockey coach, baseball coach, I sent the last one with all the activities for kids to him. He took it to the principal, and it was sent home to over 2,000 parents. So we did get, none of the other groups that did a CD Saturday had as many of the multi-generational activities as we did. And I think that really bodes well for future CD Saturday. It was great. Yes, there weren't as many people, but we still had a lot of people.
Yes, I agree with you. There were a lot of people and there were a lot of kids. It was a good event, well organized. Brenda?
Yes, it was. It was a great event, quite frankly. We are, you can't expect that every time you're going to get 500 or 600 people coming through the door, but it was clear that we had over 200 people attend. They didn't all come at once, but they come scattered. And the other thing we did was we looked at the dates, because that's a date that everybody uses. That was a big date, February 8th. And, but all in all, it worked out very, very well for us. We got some new memberships from it. It all worked out fantastic. I'm very happy, and thanks to Leslie and her guidance, it went very well. We did lose a few vendors along the way. We were supposed to have the fire truck come that day. The fire truck didn't show up, and we had 2 vendors that were more for the kids, one with the dogs, guide dogs, and another with the, therapy dogs. And the other one was the guy with the reptiles. So again, weather was a bit of an issue. So that's probably why we had some of the issues as well. But all in all, I thought it was a great day.
And every time we have these events, we get new people coming to the center and realize how much is going on at the center. And I think renaming the center the Thorold Center 50 plus is also helping to attract some younger older adults to the center.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We are at 300 now.
Wow.
300. When we started, we had 99.
Yeah.
So now we're at I mean, it's great. We're moving and growing very fast.
And there's a
So,
lot of other organizations too using the facility too.
Yes.
In the after hours, which is
That's correct.
also good.
Thorold, the Thorold Theater is now with us as well. We have 2 different AA associations in. We work with TOPS. We work with the library. We have a pen pals with the library. And Leslie and I are working with them directly on the Blossom Buddies, where we're working with the children at the library. We're buying some new the boxes to put the flowers and stuff in, and the vegetables that we're looking at doing. So we've got a ton of partners.
Okay, I'm sorry, we should have probably left this to roundtable, but anyway, CD
Okay.
Center was a success, and the $100 that was we allocated, the invoice has been set, and Dave has kindly forwarded it to the city for payment. Okay, update on the technology forum.
Yes, so we're still good to go on April 11th, Friday, April 11th, 9 to noon, doors open at 8:30. We have lost one of our speakers, which is fine. It'll actually get more time for the 4 confirmed. So Cyber Seniors, which is Cyber Seniors Niagara, they're actually national, but they have a Niagara branch. I had reached out to their contact way back, I think in November when we first started this. And he replied right away, said he was good to go. And then as I was confirming speakers, I sent him an email just to say I need confirmation because I have the time and the day. And I never heard back. So every week I would email him. I never heard back. And finally I was emailing almost every day, hoping he would respond. He finally responded in between our last meeting and this meeting. And he's backed out. I don't know if they're doing restructuring or something, but he said he'd have nobody. They don't have anyone who could go on that day. Like I said, it's fine. So the speakers will be myself, Thorold Center 50 plus, tech person, Thorold Public Library, and Connected Canadians, which is going to be done virtually, and which is fine. We'll be able to see the person, Ken Roy, on the big screen. And so that's it for now. I've adjusted the agenda, I'll adjust the poster to remove the Cyber Seniors logo. And maybe in roundtable, Brenda, you could talk about what would happen with Connected Canadians and their proposal to give you guys some money at the center. Anybody have any questions about the tech forum?
When will the posters be ready?
I'm going to post them probably a month before.
Okay, so can you make sure we all get them or send them to me, and I'll send them to all the committee, and we'll.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to a joint, a combo, and I'll drop a lot off at the Center 50 plus, and again I'll post them with some businesses. Foodland is a good spot, but I think a month. I think if you do it any sooner than a month, it's forgotten. So
it's April 11th, right?
Friday, April 11th, yeah. And again, I'll post those on those Thorold websites, the Thorold Facebook pages. Like I said, there are 4 or 5 of them, and we'll get Thorold now to do a pre-forum story. I'll contact Richard Hutton, or I'll just contact. They can send whoever they want, and then hopefully they'll show up for the day of the forum because they did the pre promo before our affordable housing forum, but they didn't show up for that actual forum. So that's where we stand for now.
And we'll make sure Natalie gets the posters too, so she can put it in the March newsletter.
Yep.
Okay. Senior of the Year nominations open March 3rd, and I think it's March 3rd to the May 3rd. And they can get the application forms will be available online. I just sent it out to Natalie. They'll be available at the Senior Center. Both the nomination forms and the criteria. The criteria is pretty much the same as last year, and except for except for the Senior of the Year for the Thorold Center 50 plus, we eliminated that you had to be a member for 5 years. That was, I think, the only change that we had on that one. So last year we had 2 or 3 people. Just honestly, this is not a lot of work. 2 or 3 people just review the nomination forms. Because we end up, unfortunately, we have so many deserving people in Thorold, and I want to say this, and we never get that many forms. So I'm hoping this year that we'll get a few more forms. We had 2 or 3 people help out just to review the forms. So do we have 2 or 3 people who will volunteer again? Just as I said, this is like probably a 10-minute process because we get so few forms, but this year it's going to be longer. 2 or 3 people who might want to do that.
I'll help, Jean.
You'll help? Okay.
You bet.
Okay, maybe Barb will.
Madam Chair, would the working group not do that task?
Yeah, the working group, yeah. Do we have, but we don't have, would we use the same one as we did last year?
We formed a working group, I think, 2 meetings ago.
Or okay, so okay, I'll have a look, I'll have a look. Yeah, the working group would do that. Okay, oh, that's right, because we reviewed the agenda. So it's the same people that reviewed the agenda. So that was Brenda, that was Leslie, and Barb, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Justin. Okay, so it's the same people. Okay. Other activities for the year. I have one suggestion, and I hope everybody has a whole pile of them. We always do a bus trip, and we do it in the fall. And last year's it wasn't as successful because they wouldn't take us to Dufferin Islands, and the meal at so this year, possibly consider it, and maybe I can look into it. A bus trip to for maple syrup, Brenda, and
That sounds great.
And have pancake breakfast up there. I think there's a couple of places that do that in the spring, so I don't know if that's March or April that they do that. So I'll look into it and see if I can have something for the March meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe we can do the same thing that we've done. We sponsor one bus, and you sponsor one bus, and they pay for whatever the cost is for the pancakes.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so I'll look into that for the next meeting. Does anybody else have any other suggestions? If not, this is going to be an ongoing one, an ongoing agenda item. Oh, Leslie?
This is for ideas of what we can do.
Yes,
Budget?
from now until the end of the year.
Okay.
Oh,
One of the things I was talking to Brenda about just recently was, I don't know whether you all look at Facebook as often as I do, but what I was thinking was, why don't we, with Age Friendly and the seniors 50 plus, organize an opportunity for their members to sit down with someone, explain their background, their life in Thorold, give pictures, and I can write up whatever they tell me. And we could do a project where we were giving them the opportunity to put together information like that, that not only could go into a book for the senior center, but it also could be something that they could give to their families that talked about their memoir, basically, but just in a small half an hour interview. What do you think? Do you think that I think there are people out there that would really like that as a project and would be interested?
I'm not opposed to the idea. I see it as a lot of work.
I don't though, but
You
I
don't?
don't mind organizing it because I know how it, I wrote a memoir. I know how you do it. You know, the way I did it was I looked at every 10 years, every decade of my life, and wrote down the things that happened significant to me at that time. Then I wrote the book. I
But
would do it.
would we be doing this to give to the person as a legacy thing just for one person, or would we be doing it to share with the community?
Well, I think we could share it with anyone. You know, we've talked about pictures of people, the people that ran the senior center from the day that it became a thing. But there isn't a lot of history that's written down that explains what went on. And it's the same with everybody's life. And if you look on Facebook now, you'll find a project and they want you to pay for it. And what they ask is they say, well, you sit down, first you write out a number of questions that everyone answers. And then you look at significant life events and you write something in particular. Ask them for a picture, and that becomes their part of the project. And it could be as long as you want to do it. It will depend on the number of people that show an interest. I do know that I wish I'd done it with my father. My grandson wrote about my father's war experiences, and I put them in my book as an appendix. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have an idea of what he went through. And I think there are people out there that would like to leave that for their families, but they don't write. They don't know how to go about it. And frankly, online, it costs quite a bit of money. And you have to know how to do it.
This is my suggestion for a way forward. Maybe could you take on doing the first person, finding a first person to do it? And then we can see what the mechanics of it is and how it is. And then once we get this person, maybe this person would be interested to have this information also shared with like Thorold Today. So, you know, maybe once a month or once every couple months, we could feature an older adult in Thorold, you know, just to see how it develops. And maybe once you get the first one done and we see what the mechanics is, maybe somebody else, like Michael likes writing, maybe he could take on one, and maybe somebody else could take on one. So maybe could you start with the first one and show us how the mechanics works, and then
that's a good idea. And Brenda, you can jump in here about the videotaping, because it could be combined with what Brenda's been talking to me about as well. Brenda?
Yes. Something I was looking at more historic. We were looking at two things that were more historical, people that were in Thorold that have done a lot for Thorold, that are aging, and we need to get all their information out so that everybody knows about them. So that was important to us, because there's so many people out there that have done so much for our city that they need to be recognized, just not by awards, but you know, we have something that we can show years down the line about these people. Another one that we talked about, with Leslie and I talked about, was there's so much social isolation out there. If we could get even if it's a weekly thing, you don't even have to come in to do this. You can do it from your home. We would get a list of names of people that want to be called on a weekly basis, maybe every other day, maybe 3 days a week. They're by themselves. They have nobody. So a phone call to say, how you doing? Is everything okay? Is there anything we can do for you, et cetera, et cetera. And we could start that at with no problem, because we know a lot of people that would need a phone call once in a while to make sure that they were okay.
I think that's, okay, so, social isolation. Okay, I think that's a great idea. And and I'll stop talking in a minute so I can let
Okay.
everybody else talk. We can
The other
probably-
one was with Anise. We have already discussed this as well about a podcast,
Yeah.
Seniors at Large, where, it's on for an hour and we talk about all things senior, everything that from information from the dental plans down the line, just general information that we're able to give out.
Okay, so there's 3 ideas here.
Yes.
Okay, so the maple syrup, I'm going to
Yep.
take the lead on. The Leslie Daniel is going to take the lead on at least the first one of featuring an adult,
Yes.
featuring an older adult, and just to see what the process is. The social
Isolation.
idea, socially isolated idea, calling. Now, I would check with community care and I would check with the library, because I think there might be something in place already. This, maybe Brenda, you can do this one, call the
I'll talk
library
to Maxine.
and talk to Maxine and see if there's a need. I'm sure there is a need, but does she have any people that we can start calling, and maybe we can get volunteers? Just start, we'll talk about it at the next meeting, okay? So just
Okay.
talk to,
I'll
and also
talk to
talk to
Matt.
the library. I don't know why I think the library was doing something like this. I have no idea why I think that. Or Maxine may be able to tell you if anybody else is doing this. But we have so many seniors at the senior center that I'm sure a few of them would volunteer to do this. Okay,
Definitely.
and then the podcast idea, why don't we leave that without a specific person right now? And then bring all of these 3 back for the March meeting.
Okay. I'll talk to Anise directly about this.
Yeah.
We'll get together.
Okay. And even to do the people that like the first person that Leslie is doing could be a trial for this. Maybe that person then could also do a 5-10-minute presentation on themselves, and that could be posted. So that could kind of,
Yes.
Leslie's idea and the podcast idea might mesh together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great idea.
So we've got people assigned to all of this. Me, maple syrup.
Jean, you wanted ideas. You didn't say you wanted it all about. So we came with ideas, and and that's why that's the way it'll work.
And Leslie is going to flesh out the legacy idea with the possibility of starting one person, and then we'll see how that goes, and also incorporating that into a podcast. And Brenda will do the socially isolated calling idea and report back and see how we can might proceed forward on that.
The other place I got this idea, I don't know whether any of you watch Stephen Colbert, but he does a special where he gets to know famous people better. And one of the first questions is, what's the best sandwich? Like, you can throw things in like that to get people to think, because we want to make it fun. We want them to be involved, and that's why I think it'll probably work with this audience.
I think so.
Now that, okay, what does everybody else think? Any comments? Any additional comments? No? Okay, so we have a kind of a way forward on this, and we'll come back and see how the logistics are going to work with all of this. Okay, so those are a couple of really good ideas. Are there any more that we want to put on the list? Okay, so this is going to be an ongoing agenda item, other activities for the year. So we'll look forward to some other really good ideas. Roundtable, I'm going to do roundtable as I can see you on my screen. I can see Joey first.
I don't really have anything to contribute today, except I hope the weather warms up. We've run out of space to throw the snow.
No.
I haven't seen a February this bad. I don't remember how long. Honestly, February is usually has been a pretty good month. Anyway, I agree with you. Okay. Anise, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have something to say here. The mosque, there is a mosque in Thorold that is called Aisha Mosque. Usually in Ramadan time, which is coming in March, they offer free supper for the community who are not attending mosque or who are not Muslims. It is very common in North America, in other municipalities. So this is happening for the first time that they have offered us for the seniors. Actually, they have a space for 30. So in the month of March, they are offering a supper, a traditional supper, which they have after breaking of the fast in the evening. It will happen in the Aisha Mosque. They have a space of 30 participants. So every senior is invited. So this is what I wanted to just share. So it's a great opportunity to mix with different other community members and seniors, of course, and to know what the other faith and other community people are doing here in our city. So it's a great gathering opportunity. So it's happening there. But it will first come first basis. So in my estimate, there is a space for 30 because the mosque is not so big. They have not asked any number. They're welcoming any number, but I think there is a space for 30 community members. So all the seniors are invited, but first come first basis. So
if you'd like to give me the information, Anise, I will get it written up and we'll post it at the center.
Yeah, that is the idea. Thank you very much. That's how it will go.
welcome.
And Jean also suggested me to do this in this way.
What is the date?
Well, the date will be decided when the Ramadan will be started in March. Then
Right.
it will be communicated.
Okay.
You'll have to have a date before Brenda can post it, because without a date, people aren't going to be able to commit.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll need the date for people to commit, because they won't know their agenda if they don't have a
All
date.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's important.
Yeah, date
The
and time
date-
will be there. It's
Yeah,
just
the
an
date and
information.
the time and the location is important.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, really great idea. I'll be there.
Thank you.
I'll be with her.
I will be there also.
Okay, anything else, Anise?
Yeah, the expenses will be borne by the mosque itself. I asked them about that. They said, no worries, just tell us how many people are coming. I said, no. I thought that it is 30, but I will ask again if they could accommodate more people. Then I will be talking to Brenda. It will be communicated.
Okay,
accordingly.
fantastic.
Great idea. And yeah, when we know the dates, and we can mention this at the March meeting too, when we'll know more dates and things. But send the info to Brenda and we'll get it posted. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do. Thank you.
Michael.
Okay, yeah, I'll just echo the weather. As you know, crossing guard, so 2 shifts this morning and noon were brutal. I'm sitting here in my long underwear. I'll put on my snow pants and head out. 20 more minutes I'll be out there. I can tell you that we had more snow on Saturday and Sunday than we had all of last winter. That's a fact. And I've been a crossing guard 3 years, and this is by far the worst winter. And it's no end in sight, although it's supposed to warm up. And I don't know if the city has run out of salt or they're saving it just for the trucks, but we all have salt bins, those yellow salt bins. And I have my bin's empty. It's been empty since before the storm. And I've asked the public works manager for salt, and no one showed up. So I have 3 ramps at my 2 street crossings, and they're a mess. It's really hard for the kids to, these are little kids, and the snow's up to their waist. And anyways, that's all weather. It's not mini related, but like I said, everybody did the wise thing by joining us virtually. Justin, I see you made it in, so good for you. Hope you get home.
It's
That's it.
supposed, it's
Stay
supposed
safe,
to
everyone.
stop. It's supposed to stop. I know a lot of places are sold out of salt because
Yes, that's
nobody-
correct.
The retail stores are sold out, but the city obviously has assume an overabundance. But I said if they're not putting it in the salt bins, which to me is very important, you know, they're not salting my road. They never do salt my road. I'm in Cunningham, which is an older neighborhood. I'm at Richmond Street Road, so Richmond Street is, well, it's kind of slushy, but it's clear. But the side streets are probably about a foot of ice, snow, covered by more snow, covered by more ice. So they were never plowed properly from that first storm we had a few weeks ago. Anyways, the side roads are just a mess. So be careful, everybody, when you're out there driving.
Okay, Leslie, anything else besides what you've pointed out?
Well, March 19th, we'll be having the first meeting of Growing Together, the gardening club for the Thorold seniors. We have a speaker that will be doing design, flower design. I'm also talking to my brother-in-law. Last year, he came to the senior center and we had the St. Patrick's Day get together in the evening. It was well received. People wanted us to come back. I'm waiting for Brian to give me a date. And when he does, we'll circulate the date for anyone that wants to feel Irish with actual born Irish people in March.
Yes.
Okay, so just a little bit more for people who don't know. We have a new garden club. What's it called again?
Growing Together.
So we have a new garden club, Growing Together. It's part of the senior center activities now, correct? And the first, is this the first meeting or the second meeting?
It's going to be the first meeting, and we're going to meet the third Wednesday of each month so far, at 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And that was asked for by not only the presenter, but other people that don't like coming out when it's dark out and snowy and during winter. So we'll be having afternoon meetings.
So 1 to 3, and the date, the next meeting is March what?
19th.
March 19th, okay.
That'll be the first one.
Will be the first one, and can we make sure Natalie gets a copy, something on that too?
Yep.
Okay, because Natalie is right now starting a newsletter, and that might be good for the March, that might be good to put in there.
Yes.
Okay, so she's in the process right now of getting the newsletter done. Okay, so and there'll be speakers, and it'll be an exchange of, there'll be speakers and an exchange of information at these meetings.
We're getting a flyer done that we will send out that will have all that information on it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Councillor O'Hare?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say kudos to Brenda and Leslie for all the work and organizing it takes to put on CD Saturday. The center was humming when I dropped in, and it's always good to see, the kids all the way up to seniors who are there enjoying the vendors and all the information that was there. So well done. And we lost Michael, but I did want to congratulate him for taking on the technology forum, which I'm looking forward to. So. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Justin, I can see your name next. Anything, Justin?
Nothing near to add. Thank you.
Thank you again for your help and assistance with everything and your patience. Brenda, anything more you want to add or anything else you want to say?
No, just we've got lots of things coming up in March. We have the gallery players are coming in. We have St. Patty's Day. We're going to have a band. We're doing Pancake Tuesday on March the 4th. we're having a yard sale on March the 8th, and we really need to get a lot of people out to that yard sale. As most of you know, we lost, I shouldn't say lot, well, we were lost it in the sense that our freezer went to 88 degrees, the condenser went, and all the food that we had just purchased with the grant money from the United Way, we had to spend it by the 14th of September. So we jammed it, like when I say jammed, I don't mean jammed in, but we had the freezer full. And all that stuff came in from La Coco from January right till the 15th of February. So we put in, before that we had food in there, but we spent another like $1,300 or $1,400. That was the end of our grant. And when we came in on Tuesday morning, it was all gone. There was nothing we could save. It was melted to nothing. So unfortunately, there is no way to claim it on insurance. And so what we're going to do is try to come up with the money on, and I think we're going to do just fine with the money for the March 8th yard sale.
Okay, so the yard sale is March 8th. So that's
You bet.
another important thing that you want to also tell Natalie.
Yes, most definitely. I think that's already been sent to her.
Has already been sent to her. Okay, so March 8th. And so are you looking for donations for the yard sale, or what's the logistics?
Yes, anybody that has anything that they don't need, don't want, bring it to us other than clothing. We take the blankets because we work with the homeless. So anything you have, we'll sell and try to recoup our losses here. Because until we probably won't be able to even cook in the kitchen, we've had to cancel for the next 2 months all of our cooking classes because we made all the soups and things for the winter. Now the desserts come up, but we'd have no electricity to use our mix masters and our small handheld mixers. So we can't do that. And of course, until we get the food, there's no any functions that have food attached to them, we won't be able to do until we recoup that money.
And this is a big loss because from a socialization point of view, the center in many cases were offering $5 and the most was $10 lunches and food.
Yes,
meetings.
and Jean,
yeah, and a lot of people attend those.
Yes, and the money also that they give us back goes back into more food for us, if we, whatever that may be. And now, of course, we not only lose the almost $2,000 worth of food, the ability to make another probably $2,400 on money that comes back into the center. So, you know, we're looking at close to $5,000 where we'll be out. But as I say, I'm excited that we're going to have this yard sale. And last year we've had a yard sale in February, and we did a little over $2,500. So if we can do it again in March, then we'll recoup that money quick, and we'll be able to start feeding them again.
Okay, that's wonderful. So everybody clean out, like most of us are on the second half of our life. The first half we collected all this stuff, and now the second half we have to get rid of all this stuff that our kids don't want, even if it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're on that phase of life to get rid of the good stuff that the kids don't want, bring it to the senior center. It'll go to a good cause and help replenish the food fund so that we can have cheap meals for older adults at the center. Have I missed anybody? Is there anybody I missed? Marilyn, anybody I missed? Going once, going twice? Okay. The next meeting, you know what, one day I'm going to
March
tell you
20th.
when the next meeting. It's
March 20th.
20th. Okay, March 20th. And we have all of those follow-up things okay. I have a motion to adjourn. Anybody? Well, could I have a motion to adjourn? Okay.
Joey.
And Anise, Okay, anybody want to discuss this? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, okay, I don't think you want, okay. All in favor? Okay,
Yep.
thank you, everybody, as usual, for everything, and don't slip.